A Pennsylvania witness at Fairless Hills reported watching 4 triangle-shaped UFOs silently moving just 20 feet over neighboring homes, followed by 20 to 30 star-like objects crossing the sky, according to testimony in case 80797 from the Mutual UFO Network, MUFON, Witness Reporting Database. The sighting began about 8:20 p.m. on November 4, 2016. When the witness took his 2 children out for a walk in search of Pokemon hotspots. It was a crisp fall night, and for a night sky, the sky was bright and full of stars with no clouds or precipitation, the witness stated. At approximately 8:20 p.m. we turned and began walking up a street with a slight incline, and my youngest child stopped to catch a Pokemon and had lagged behind. I noticed he was no longer with us and I turned around to call to him to catch up. And right behind him were 2 huge, black, triangular craft, larger than the houses they were above, flying slowly and approximately 20 feet above the 1-story houses across the street, and approximately 20 feet away. The witness immediately spotted a second craft. The second craft was flying at the same height as the first craft, immediately behind it. The 2 craft were black with 3 unwavering bright white lights at the 3 corners of the triangles, with a solid bright primary, red light in the center of the craft. The craft were completely silent, they were almost on top of us and we never would have known they were there if I did not happen to look behind us. The 2 craft came from a western direction and were heading east. The objects then changed direction. We observed the craft silently shift direction southeast before disappearing behind trees and we lost visual contact with the craft. We continued walking up the road away from the craft headed north, heading home, for approximately 10 seconds, when I looked behind again to where we had sighted the craft. 2 more triangular craft were flying in the exact same direction in the exact location where the first 2 craft were sighted, and they turned and headed southeast in exactly the same spot that the other 2 craft had turned. It was as if we witnessed déjà vu, as if we viewed the event again, but this time at a slightly different angle, as we were slightly farther away from the craft the second time around. We turned east and onto my road, when we looked up into the sky and witnessed a patch of sky with between 20 and 30 balls of light, exact number unable to be determined, that looked like stars, except that they were moving. Some of the lights were moving very slowly, almost imperceptibly, but other craft were moving so quick that they would leave a light trail behind them, as they shifted position. The lights were different colors, from red to bluish white to orange to bright white. We walked towards this activity in the sky, however, these lights were high up like stars and to the east of our location. Our vision would occasionally be obstructed as we walked on our street due to street lamps, but the activity continued unabated as we reached our house. We ran inside and I asked my wife to come out and check out what was happening in the sky. Approximately 3 minutes later, just after 8:30 p.m., we walked back outside and there was nothing in the sky where we had just observed the lights, not even observable stars. Fairless Hills is in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, population 8,466. Pennsylvania MUFON State Section Director Donna Luther is investigating. Please remember that most UFO sightings can be explained as something natural or man-made. The above quotes were edited for clarity. Please